Hello, everybody. Welcome to day two. Today is all about what's been holding us back, right? But before we launch into all of that, what is hi, Dorothy. What is something that you came up with or you wrote down on your desire list that you're going to go after immediately right now and that you're excited about? So share that in the chat. What are you excited about going after in your economy now? Because we have to be excited. We have to have a burning desire. Napoleon Hill talks about burning desire. And we have to have a purpose that's bigger than just, to get by. We have to have something that really brings the best out of us. And it's desire. It's not need, it's desire that pushes us harder and farther. I don't need horses. I want horses. There's a difference. I can sit in an apartment and have nothing and have plenty of money, but I want horses. That's what I want. I want horses and land and beautiful things and all that stuff. So, what is something that you're excited about? Write it in the chat or say it out loud. Sarah, say it out loud.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So for me, it is my membership and the money. I'm going after the money. Give me the money.
Give me the
Yep.
money. Yay, the membership and the money. Tell us about your membership, Sarah, because that's an important part of your economy.
It is. Yeah, it's a membership for women who are building small businesses or side hustles and want to support on the accountability. I'm building a community around that, and we have a lot of activities in there. And I have very good feedback. I'm really excited about that. Um, I'm having more and more sales calls every day. So, and I'm talking about it all the time. So I'm really excited about that.
Yay, good. See, can't you hear her excitement? She's like, oh yeah. She started talking faster. She's like, yep, 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 yep. That's what I want. That's what I want. Good. I love it. LA, did you want to say something? You were unmuted.
Oh, am I?
Oh yeah. Did you not mean to be?
No, but I well, I'm
Okay.
mine is getting my health coaching business going.
Why? Because you could say, I just want to get my health coach business going.
No,
Why?
because I want to help people and I want to make. I'm like Sarah, got to make the money.
Yay. Want to make the
Yes,
money. Earn the money. We're not mints. We can't make money. We earn money through the law of compensation, right? So
right.
tell us about your health business as a part of your economy.
Well, I got to get me some conversation started, and then invite people to take the health questionnaire. I could find out what they low in and see if they're interested in getting help in it. I'm gonna start off, I think, really with focusing on weight loss because I'm in the process. I need to do that, and we have a new product, a GPL-1, that's better than the pharmaceutical one that's out there that we just launched. So I want to really promote that, get that out there.
hmm You know what Bob would say for
Well,
salespeople? He says, if you are selling something, you must own that something and use that something. Be a product of the product. Because the stronger that you create this testimonial and belief, the more you'll impart that on your client. And I was emphatic in the last call that we had. I was emphatic. You know why I was emphatic about what I was saying? Because I believe it and I do it. If I didn't do it, I wouldn't be like, "What are you doing?" Right? I would have been like, "Yeah, yeah, you should feel bad." I would have a different tact. But I feel so connected to what I teach that I know that it's right, right? And that's how you are a product of the product that you're selling. Sarah, if you just know that this membership is what you need, the I am your answer, right? That type of thing. LA, same thing. This product is what you need. It changed my life. And that's how I feel. And so when you feel that way, you're not selling, you're just believing. And then the people who show up are the people who want to believe how you believe, right? So that's good. I like that, LA. Um, Raphael, tell us a little bit about this recording that you want to do.
I'm working on a CD with my kids. I got five boys, 7-year-old, a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 22-year-old, and we're all collaborating on a CD,
Wow.
a,
Rap album
a rap
called
album. The GT
GT.
family. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
cool. So, have you recorded music before?
yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
How come we don't know about this?
That's a good question. I haven't
Yeah.
promoted it that way.
Oh, who is it for? Who's the music for?
For my kids, they're
Oh,
moving. They don't live with me, but they're moving to Texas from California, and I want them to take that as a gift. We recorded. I have them on songs before. I'll share the music with you, with all of
yes.
you, with the songs that I've had, and now I want them to take a nice something, that they always bump in their new hometown and
Yeah.
remember their pops with.
Oh, that's so cool. Hey, part of your economy is music, creating music?
Yeah, I mean, that's an
Well, do you?
opportunity. That's an opportunity that opens up. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really looking at it as an economy. I'm looking at just something that I'm working on right now that I wanna. That when you said, "What do you desire?" like that, that's what coming to my forefront. That's
Uh-huh.
what. That's what's right here, right now, in my energy field.
Yeah. Well, energy, your economy is your energy field.
Hmm.
It really is. And, horses, let me just put it out here. Horses don't make me any money, but they're definitely a part of my economy because they allow me to recharge and have the energy to do what I want to do to earn money, right? And so when I earn money, I put them into horses. But the horses, they don't earn me any money. So, but they're a part of my economy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if that's something that lights you up,
Yes.
keep it in your space.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Ah, thank you for sharing. Did anybody know that about Raphael? No. See, that's what we're here for. This is so good. I love it. I love it. Anybody else want to share? What are you working on? What are you excited about? Dorothy, do you want to say something? What are you excited about,
Yes,
Dorothy?
Mary, I'm excited about my crochet work.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm working on a dress for myself, and
ooh.
someone saw me this piece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so someone saw me working on it, and she has a hotel, so she now wants me to make crochet, as throw pillow covers for her hotel. She just spoke to me this evening. So, that's part of my economy. And that's what I
Yes.
also want to impact on others.
Oh, I'm so excited. That's so great. Here's the thing, you guys. When you're doing the thing that you love, something shows up to bring it, Dorothy's not getting paid to do the thing to create the dress that she's crocheting, but somebody else saw what she can do and wants to pay her for it, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is magnificent. I love it. See how this works?
Yay, Ellie, thanks.
So everybody say this stuff works.
This
Because
stuff works.
this stuff works. This stuff works. That's right. So that's the thing. That's so important. That's why desire is so key because we need to do what we love. And when we do what we love, we are a magnet to other people who are attracted to what we love. Hmm. Yes. I mean, I don't know how to explain it in any other way than that. It's a law of vibration. When we put out this thing that we love and we're doing it and we're just doing it because we love it, people are attracted to it. The right people are attracted to it. That's how it works. That's how it works. Oh, I love it. So good. Anybody else want to share? What are you excited about? Anything? Any desires that you're excited about? No? Okay, we're gonna move on. All right. This is so good. I love it. So thank you for indulging me and starting with the what you love. Let's go to today we're talking about what's holding us back. So this economy that we currently have around us is a result of the thinking that we have been doing up until this point. Whether we like it or not, it's in harmony, right? This is the love month. It's in harmony with the way we've been thinking up until this point. So everything that we see around us is a mirror because this is a mental universe. Mentalism is one of the 7 Hermetic principles, and it is the one that we need to understand first and foremost, that this is a mental universe. It's intelligence all around us and inside of us. And this intelligence is what creates stuff. So when we have a thought in our mind, that is the polar opposite of the thing we see. So we think about a glass of water and then we see a glass of water. So the thought is the non-physical form of the actual glass of water that we see, right? So anything that we create has to start in the mind first. So there's mentalism, but then there's also the law of correspondence. And the law of correspondence is as within, so without. As above, so below. So what that means is that everything is a reflection. What I believe and think of in here is out here. So if I think that guy's a jerk over there, we're going to see the jerk part of the guy. I bet he's not a jerk to everybody. I use this example all the time. My husband and I have the same neighbors. They are different to me than they are to him. Same people. I see them in different ways, and he sees them in different ways, right? So that's how the law of correspondence works. And then, of course, we talk about the law of vibration. So wherever we're vibrating, what frequency we're on, and there's infinite numbers of frequencies, wherever we're vibrating, that's what we attract to us. Dorothy was vibrating on this cool crochet dress. And that woman was like, she didn't want a dress. She wanted pillow covers, right? And so she saw that and she was like, oh, so you're vibrating on the same crochet level, but she wanted it for a different reason, right? But they came together on that vibration. And so when we have these laws that we can depend on, we can begin to work with them. So what's holding us back is our thinking up until this point. Our thinking, our beliefs, the paradigms that we have within us. Bob talks about paradigms. Bob Proctor talks about paradigms are a collection of habits, habitual thoughts, habitual actions, habitual ways of being that are running in our subconscious mind without us even being aware of it consciously. Our paradigms are attracting our current results. So if Bob talks about in chapter 10, I mentioned it yesterday, Aunt Marge's curtains, right? She didn't believe that she could pay for another set of curtains, and so she just had to deal with them. And so she left them up even though she hated them, right? And Bob says, well, you're in harmony with those. And she said, no, I'm not. I hate those things. But she believed that she couldn't replace them. She was in harmony with them because she thought that that was all she could get, rather than being in harmony with the thought that, if I take these down, maybe something better will show up. So if you're in harmony with something better, you won't be holding on to the past. So one of the things that's scary is that when we move out of our comfort zone, we have to let go of the things that we see here that are holding us back. We have to be willing to let go of them. And in You Were Born Rich today, we talked about let go and let God. And part of letting go is letting go of the past and letting go of the thoughts that haven't served us, but might feel comfortable. And trust that if we just stretch just a little bit, something new and something more will show up. So our paradigms are the things that are really holding us back. They're beliefs ingrained in us, and maybe somebody put them there. Most times we grew up with a set of beliefs because our parents had those beliefs, and we adopted them and we believed them because that's what we were told time and time again. Or we had an experience that programmed us, and that made us have certain beliefs. But we can change our beliefs. And the way that we change them is through repetition of new beliefs. And not only can we change our beliefs, but we can choose what we want to change them to. We can choose beliefs that are going to serve us. So if your belief is like, I don't know if this stuff works, does that serve you? Or does the belief, this stuff works, does that serve you? When you see evidence like Dorothy just shared with us, those are things that we need to use to bolster our beliefs. And so when we see evidence of new beliefs coming and showing up and going, oh, I do want to believe this. I do want to believe this. Remind yourself of those experiences that have happened so we can look back at our life and go, when I did that and I thought this way, this particular thing occurred. That bolsters my belief in this stuff works, right? So when I say this stuff, I mean thoughts create things. Our vibration is what attracts. People are as nice as we are. We have this universe that is malleable. None of our results are permanent. We get to choose to change them or choose to keep them. It's all up to us. So let me share my screen and we can talk about our beliefs. Paradigms, beliefs, and programming. So what is running the show? So before we can really get into something new and go after those desires that we want to add to our economy or improve in our economy, we have to understand what's been shaping our current economy. So like I said, the paradigms are the invisible programs that we've got running around in the background. Beliefs, habits, patterns, emotional reactions, and they run on autopilot. So I want you to think about the law of vibration. And if your paradigm is running on autopilot, it's keeping you at a specific vibration all the time. It's keeping you, let's say it's at a specific income level. It's keeping you there because that's where you're programmed to earn money. And Bob would say that program is actually reflective of the amount of service you provide, because the amount of service we provide has a direct relationship to the amount of money we earn. So when Bob asks somebody, how much is the most you've ever earned? He's not asking to know what the answer of the amount of money is. He wants to know how you are programmed when it comes to service. When I heard that, my mind went boo. It was important because it's not about necessarily I can earn X number of dollars. It's about who am I helping? Zig Ziglar says you'll always earn enough money if you just help enough people get what they want. So, how many people are you helping if you want to earn more money? In the realm of relationships, how are you extending your your kindness? How are you extending yourself? How are you giving of yourself? And then you'll receive in kind. The law of compensation works in everything, not just money. So what we really have to understand is that these are patterns, and most of them have been placed in us by people who were in charge of us at some point in time. But they also have been placed in us through our experiences throughout our lives. So we're going to identify the beliefs that are holding us back. So list 3 main patterns that you keep repeating in life, business or finances, even when you know that you want something different. So I'm going to share this. Hold on. So you can start here. Let me find. Hold on. I'm going to share this really quick in the chat for you all. Can I? Yes, I can. Okay. Oops. There you go. All right. So we want to discover what these main patterns are that are repeating, whether it's in just life in general, our relationships, our business or our finances. Even when you're like, oh, I just want to be something different. I want to do something different. I want to have different results. And you're just pining over that, but you can't quite get there. So here are some examples that you can identify. Do you hesitate before you make a decision? Are you one of those people who goes, I'm going to weigh the pros and the cons, and I'm going to sit on it, and I'm going to hem and haw, and I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to ask everybody what they think? Which leads you to the next one. I worry about what other people think, right? What is my mom going to say about this? What is my husband going to say about this? What are my kids going to think about this? What do people on Facebook think about this when I tell them I'm a this and a that and the other thing, right? Do you undercharge or downplay your value? Here's the thing about that is that if you truly know and believe that what you're delivering is of tremendous value, then you'll feel comfortable charging what you need to charge. It's that true. It's just the way it is. So for what I mentioned earlier with LA, you have to be a product of the product. So when you can get to that point where you're like, I do the stuff that I'm selling here, right? When you get to that point where you're like, this works, this stuff works, and this is why, and this is how it changed my life. And ask yourself, would I be willing to pay that, right? For this amount of change in my life. and the answer is yes, then don't question it. Just go. If the value is there and you believe it, then share it. Another one is I procrastinate on projects that I want to complete. Oh, I should do this. Should do that. I don't know. Well, you're programmed not to. Your pattern is I don't do that. So you have to make a decision, right? Procrastination ends when a decision is made. Another example is I think about the money that I don't have rather than being in gratitude for the money that you do have. Thank you for the money I have, and thank you for the money that's coming in, and thank you for all the opportunities showing up. Ah, this is an abundant universe, right? Another one is I stop when things get uncomfortable. Oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't like this. We talk about this in Thinking into Results as the terror barrier. And what this really just is two competing paradigms in your subconscious mind, duking it out. And it feels bad. And you feel nervous and you feel anxiety. Excuse me. And this is when people bounce back to their comfort zone. So if you get to a certain point and then you bounce off some sort of invisible wall, then you're programmed. The program is stronger holding you back than the one that you want to move forward into. Okay. You talk yourself out of opportunities. Oh, I want to write the book. Oh, but you know what? I really don't have anything to say. I don't have any money. I don't know who would read it. I don't really have a story. All those things show up, right? So that's one of the things that you're going to write out is patterns that you notice about yourself, whether it's health, wealth, relationships, it doesn't matter. And then figure out what this belief is behind the pattern. So, what would someone have to believe in order to keep repeating that pattern? You know, if you let's see if there's a correlation here. Like I hesitate before making decisions, right? Well, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. So for instance, I'll use myself as an example. I decided that I was going to create a podcast. And I didn't tell anybody about this. And then I had a conversation with somebody who said, "You should do a radio show." And I was like, "What?" I didn't think about that. I could have easily said, "Well, I'm not ready yet. I haven't even recorded one podcast. Why would I go on the radio?" But guess what? That would have been holding myself back. But it would have been easy. Nobody would say, "Yeah, you're right." You know, they wouldn't have thought twice to say, "You're right to wait, Mary. It's okay." Right? No. That's an easy way. I'm not ready yet for that. Mm-mm. That's a common one, I think. Let's see here. I worry about what others think. I don't want to inconvenience anyone. I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. Or I don't want to be out there. I don't want somebody to think that I'm better than anybody else, right? All of those things. Then there's people like me don't make a lot of money. People like you, guess what? You're spirit. You're just like everyone else. That's something that we really have to start believing. We are unique expressions of spirit. We are exactly like everyone else, only unique. People like you make a lot of money. So if you have this desire to earn a lot of money, you can. And then if I try and fail, I'll look stupid. A lot of times we care if we're going to look stupid or not. Or what if I fail? I don't want to fail. Well, what if you win? What if you get there? I don't deserve more. That one goes along the lines of earning money takes a lot of hard work. I have to earn it in the way of work rather than earning it in the way of frequency, vibration, service. When we change our heart to a heart of service, then that doesn't become a question. You're always giving and you always receive. It's the natural law, giving and receiving. You know, there's a poem inside of You Were Born Rich. And let me find it. Giving. Yep. Right at the beginning of chapter 10, and it's called Giving by Arthur William Beer. And it says, to get he had tried, yet his store was still meager. To a wise man he cried in a voice keen and eager, pray tell me, how may I successfully live? And the wise man replied, to get, you must give. As to giving, he said, what have I to give? I've scarce enough bread, and of course one must live. But I would partake of life's bountiful store. Come, came the wise man's response, then you must give more. The lesson he learned, to get was forgotten. Toward mankind he turned with a love new begotten. As he gave of himself in useful living, then joy crowned his days, for he grew rich in giving. So, excuse me, there's a law of cause and effect, and that means givers gain. The more we give, the more we get, and the more we get to give more. It's a cycle. We give, we get more, we get, we give more, we get more, we give more. It's very cyclical. And so we have to understand that it is a law. And then there's always money is hard to come by. And most of us grew up with a lot of money paradigms. Money doesn't grow on trees. You got to work hard for money. Money doesn't just show up. Money doesn't come to people like us. Um, there's a ton of them, right? So those are all things that are holding us back. Success requires suffering. I have to pay my dues. That's a huge one. I won't deserve it until I really sacrifice myself. The fact is, it's really all about harmony, being in harmony with what you want. So there's space for you to write out what belief is correlating with your paradigm, your program. And then you're going to rewrite one. So you're going to pick one that you want to change, that if you changed this now, your economy would take off. So here's a couple examples, right? I don't know, I don't want to inconvenience anyone. No, you got to start believing that people do want to work with you, that what you're giving is valuable. What you are sharing with the world is something that's going to help them move forward. And that's part of being a product of the product. And then here's another example. I'm not ready yet. I grow by doing, not by waiting. Right? If you know what? I'm just going to try this radio thing. I'm just going to try it. I'm not, I haven't done it. I'm just going to try it and see how it goes. There you go. Money is hard to come by. Money flows to me easily as I serve. Do you see? Service. The more I serve, the more I receive. So there's a space for you to write the old paragraph and rewrite the new one. And then we talked a little bit about this evidence finder with Dorothy. So I want you to all look back in your life, and we're going to talk about this now. Write down one moment from your life that proves that your new paradigm could be true. A time you created value effortlessly, like Dorothy, that was a perfect example. I'm just working on my dress. Somebody comes up and says, I want that. Right? It was effortless. A time when someone told you that you helped them. You know what? What you just did for me was so helpful and valuable, right? Any time like that. A time you made a quick decision and it worked out. Maybe you trusted your gut. Maybe you just said, you know what? I'm going to go for it and see what happens. A time when money showed up unexpectedly. Did you get a check in the mail? What happened? So let's think about those. Does anyone have a success moment that they want to share? Anyone? Anyone? I'll start talking if you want me to.
I can share.
Thank you, Sarah.
Um, it's not, well, I was really young, right, when this happened, but it was such a knowing, and don't ask me. I just, it was effortless, and I don't even know what it was. It was just a knowing. I knew that was going to happen. Um, when I met my husband, I was really, really young, right? And he's older than me, and I just knew that I was going to marry him. I
Wow.
knew, and we live a world apart. He lived in Europe, I lived in Australia, but I knew, right? And he had girlfriends because he was at an age to get married almost, right? And so I had my boyfriends when I was in Australia and everything. And it was never that serious for me. I don't know. It's just, yes, I had boyfriends. Everybody had boyfriends. I don't know. But I knew that that was going to happen. And when I look back on everything, all the decisions, and that one is the one that it doesn't even occur to me that I could have had a different life. It's not, it's just it was meant to be. It's one of those weird things.
Yeah. So what does that do for you to bolster your knowing now? If do you ever have you ever felt something similar and gone after it?
Yes. Yes,
Mhm.
when I was working and I decided that I wanted to come home, it was a feeling a little bit like that. And every time that I thought, I'm gonna give up, I just can't take this any longer, I have a dream that just confirms that I'm doing what I should be doing, or my husband will tell me that. Um, it's going to happen. I mean, you've come this far, you can't give up now, right? And even when I don't know, my poker face, you know me by now. So
There is no
sometimes
poker
he just
face.
looks
That's
at
not,
me
by
and
the
he's
way.
like, oh gosh. And he does believe that happy wife, happy life. So there we are. um, and so it is, and I sometimes think, oh, I'm gonna give up. I just, I can do other stuff. Um, but I know that I'm meant to be on this journey. I know it's going to happen. I can see myself at that end goal. And so I just keep going. Some days are better than others, but it is kind of a knowing, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you can do you draw on that feeling? Do you go, okay, no, I just have to remember that. Do you remind yourself of that success story?
Not a lot. Now that you're saying that, it's kind of weird that I don't, but yeah, I forget that. Uh, but I
Hmm.
can, yeah, absolutely, because I mean, it's just it's gonna happen. There's no other way
Yeah. It's like
because the
Morpheus
laws
didn't,
work.
yeah, the laws work. They're laws for a reason. They're called laws, they're
Yeah,
principles, right? They don't just work for they work for everybody but me. No, that's not how it works. You're not that special.
there you go.
You're unique, but you're not special in that way, right? They work for everyone. Gravity doesn't just work for some people. They work for everybody. So Sarah, maybe write it down and remind yourself of it on those days. Who wants to share another success story? I like success stories. Let's hear them. Let's hear them. Let's celebrate each other. Come on, let's go. Anyone? Come on. Success. Maybe you learned how to tie your shoes. That's success. Do you remember that? I remember learning how to ride my bike. It was actually my brother who taught me. And he spent all afternoon. He lowered the seat on his bike. He had a he had a Haro BMX bike. I don't know. But he helped me and he pushed me down the hill probably 1,000 times that day. And just I fell and then I got up and I fell and I got up and I fell and I got up so many times. And he was so excited for me when I went like 10 feet. And I just remember when I finally was like riding around the yard, he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah." And it was the best thing in the world. And so I sucked at the beginning. The beginning of that day, I did not know how to ride a bike. I went to bed that night knowing how to ride a bike. I could do it. And so that feeling was so good. It was like, I did that. I can do hard things. So when things start getting hard, just remind yourself there's this time when you didn't know how to ride a bike and then you big fat did. And it was really cool. And you learned how to do lots of cool stuff since then, right? Donna, did you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I guess my recovery would be appropriate in this, right?
I
Is that
guess.
okay? I learned how to stay sober and off of
Yeah.
drugs.
Yay. That's huge. Did you go into it knowing that you would?
I don't know if I had an expectation going in. I guess I don't know about me. I know when I went to AA for the first time, like I had an expectation that that's where I could get sober. I knew people who had gone in there and it worked for them. So I wasn't too sure about me. I don't know if I had the confidence when I first went in that I was gonna,
But the
I just was,
possibility was there.
yeah, I was willing to try it
Hmm.
and see if it worked for me.
Hmm. Yeah. Could you see yourself as you went in there? Could you see yourself sober in your mind? Or did you think, I don't know.
I started to, it's like a whole process because you you know like one life of a certain friends you stay with, certain places you go, so you know that one life. And then it's a process as uh, it was for me. I think it's for everybody. Like you start to through the suggestions of the people there, they say like, don't go into the lion's den. You don't go back into bars or where there's alcohol. Get new friends. Stop staying with
Mhm.
your old friends. So it's a whole process where now you become a new person. You become a whole new person because you start to get new friends. You get friends that are in AA and they're doing sober things. So you start to do sober things with them. So it's a
Mhm.
whole restructuring of your life.
It's a paradigm shift. And that's exactly what we do in thinking into results. It's shifting step by step, taking that out, putting the new habit in, taking that old habit out, putting that new one in. These people trigger that, so I'm taking them out and putting new ones in, right?
Right. That's something they talk about too, like replacing your bad habits with good habits, or else you're going to fall back on those bad ones. They
Right.
talk about that too, in how there's like a whole book of suggestions they used to have when you're first getting sober. They suggest that you get it. I forgot the name of it, but like it gives you little things like back then you had to carry quarters. They tell you carry quarters so you can make phone calls.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
don't need that anymore.
Yeah, and I've done it. I used the quarter therapy.
Hmm.
I've had to call people, when I was in tricky situations.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds like a tremendous support system.
Oh yeah, that's
Hmm.
that's totally what it is.
Hmm. Yeah. And so one of the things that a lot of people believe is that they have to do it alone. If you're gonna recover, if you're going to get sober, that it's a me problem, so I have
Right.
to figure it out on my own, right? But what I have learned is that there are pretty much you have to do it alone, but you can't do it by yourself. Is pretty much what it comes down to. You have to do it by yourself, but you can't do it alone. And whatever way it makes more sense. But the fact is, yes, it comes from within to do the work and really make that decision every day. But you can't do it alone. You have to have a support system around you. And that's something I think that a lot of people don't necessarily allow in or allow them to help them with a support system because they feel like they have to do it by themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. The story of Bill W. found it was one of the founders of Alcoholics Anonymous, and he got sober himself, and he was traveling around. He was like a traveling salesman or something. So he went into a town, and the itch was coming up. He was thinking of a drink, and he mentioned to somebody, get me your worst drunk in town. Somebody's like, everybody's given up on, get me your worst drunk. And they said, okay, it's no use though. He's no good. So he went to speak to Dr. Bob, and he started speaking to Dr. Bob, and Dr. Bob was very like belligerent, kind of like, oh, this isn't going to help me. They've tried everything with me, and I love it. I'm going to tear up.
Oh,
Bill W. said to him, "I'm not here for you. I'm here for me." He
yeah.
needed another person though, but it
Yeah.
was for him.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah.
that part of the story.
Oh, I do love that. And there's that point where you have to value yourself more than you had in the past, right? And there is another belief is worthiness. And we need to believe that we're worthy of a better life, right? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Donna.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I was
No.
muted.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so much a worthy thing. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, thank you. Oh, makes me so happy. Does anyone else want to share a success story that you draw on or you remind yourself of or that you didn't necessarily think of until today where you're like, oh, I could use that?
It's funny, Mary, as you say that, I know I've had a lot of accomplishments in my life, a lot of empowering moments that I've done, and my mind just goes blank when you ask the question. But something that I can say right now, a little small win, was when I started doing ice cold plunges, and
Oh,
it was it was something I always wanted to do. So when I did it, it was uncomfortable. It still is uncomfortable, but it's amazing. It's amazing at the same time that I did it so much now that I created a little sanctuary at my house where I invite people to come experience ice cold plunges. So it turned out to be something even more than it was just not for me, it was for others too to come experience this here in California, Lake Elsinore.
wow, that's really neat. And oh yeah, for me, I would not do it. I like hot showers and hot baths.
Yeah. So
But
that's
but I know what you're talking about because that is it's almost like a spiritual experience for some people, yeah?
and it's I started with cold showers. First 10 seconds right after, at the end of the shower, turn it on for 10 seconds only to experience the cold. Now it's like cold showers every time. I've been doing it for like a year and a half. But then the the ice plunger, that right there is it's a it's a feeling that, it's very beneficial to the body. Once again, it's uncomfortable, but when you're in there, it does something that you're like, oh wow, I'm actually in here and I'm actually in peace, you know?
Ah. Do you do Wim Hof breathing too? Or
Yes.
no? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. This is the second time Wim Hof was mentioned today, by the
Yeah.
way, on our calls. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, there's something. There's something in the air, you guys. Maybe take a cold plunge or a cold shower tonight.
Or do some Wim Hof breath work.
Yes, do some Wim Hof breath work. It is transcendental. There you go.
Very much.
Yes, yes. Thank you. I love that. I love that. Does anybody else want to share a success story? Dorothy already shared a success story. I love that one that she started us off with. Dorothy, keep playing that in your mind over and over and over again. It's a good one. So good. All right. So we all have our assignments to figure out what it is that's the beliefs that have, cropped up. What is that voice that says, are you sure? Are you sure, Mary? Can you really do that? My mom used to say when I gave her a big goal of mine, she goes, "That's ambitious." Like the bigger the goal, the crazier I am. But you know what? I began to think, that's ambitious. Let's go. I started to shift it because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to do it and then tell you after. So those are some things that I used to do. But start thinking about how you can shift that little voice in your head because you can change the voice and what it says in your head. You can change it. You can just start repeating a new line. Start repeating something new. I like cold plunges. I like cold plunges. You could start saying that. But start telling yourself the a different sentence because the thing that you're telling yourself is a lie anyway. So just tell yourself a better lie. How's that? One that you want. Cold water is very soothing. There you go. That's a nice one. hmm And then tomorrow, we're going to talk about self-image. We're going to talk about who we are in this new economy that we're creating as we go towards this bigger goal that we kind of looked for yesterday in that area of health or wealth or happiness, relationships, whatever it might be. So start thinking about how does this person, that version of me, how do they show up? What does that look like? And we're going to be talking more about the law of compensation tomorrow. All right, which is all about circulation, by the way. So we're going to talk more about that too. So we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing everything with us. And this is such a great room. So thank you. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hi.